Hello, I'm Steve. Thank you for visiting the Patio Heat channel, where we provide visual concepts of infrared heating as well as tips for ideal patio comfort. Check out our patioheat.com website for sales and more information. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful, as it helps others find our channel. Now let's get heating. Alright, so here we have this residential application, and this is just an open beam trellis that I have here. And right now we just have it under construction, so I'm assuming there's nothing going to be above this trellis here. If there is, then this will not apply to this particular application. We do have some doors over here that are sliding doors, and I don't see any other issues with regards to fixtures or anything of that nature at this time. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do. And first of all, we'll go ahead with the dimensions. Overall dimensions, I have 15 by 18. By the top of this beam going across here is 9 foot height. And each one of these beams I have at 3 feet center on center, and I think these are just 2-inch in thickness. So if it's different than that, then this will change slightly, but it shouldn't affect any way of how I'm doing this right now. So alright, so I'm going to have 3 different choices here basically, and I have number one, I'm going to go ahead and turn off this dimension for a minute. Number one would be a gas sun pack heater option, and what I've done here is I've taken 2 of the 34,000 BTU heaters. They could be either 34,000 sun packs or a TSH model sun pack. You're gonna have to come up with a special way to make a bracket, probably that goes from this beam here to this beam, and then somehow attaches just through the top here. Now I don't know the exact height of this, but the important thing here is going to be that the bottom edge of the heater is at the same height as the bottom edge of the beam here itself. You're gonna notice I added this this is called a reduction. This is a piece of sheet metal that's bent around the beam itself, and it has to have a minimum of 1-inch air gap. Now there is a book called the Uniform Mechanical Gas Code book that you could refer to as far as what type of sheeting you can use here and what the air gap must be, and actually what distance this edge here has to extend beyond this edge here. I don't have that information handy or with me, so I'm just showing you that this can be done as long as you maintain a 1-inch air gap around this beam and follow the instructions with regards to the reduction system that you can look up. But in any case, so these are 2 of the sun packs, and obviously you would have to cut these brackets off, or not install them rather, and then install your own. You would have gas lines that come in, so there's going to have to be some kind of penetration through this 1-inch air reduction system, the air gap here, that allows the gas line to come through it, as well as the 24 volts to the heater itself. So bear that in mind. And I'm going to show you just real quick on this dimension why we can't just put the heater right here, because the heater requires 17 inches of clearance, and I only have 1.5 foot inch of clearance, so I'm not meeting the clearance. But you can use this reduction system to allow you to install something like this. So alright, let's look at the footprint of heat with 2 of these sun packs. And you can see that I'm getting a fairly good coverage with this, and that's why I like this system here. We've got nice overlapping here. Now I'm not capturing the entire width over here and over here, but I think that would be okay in this application. We definitely wouldn't want to put 2 more units in here to make the whole place super hot, because you'd have a lot of overlapping and you'd still need to meet the clearances to the side. So I think this is a good application here. Alright, let's go ahead and turn that off and look at a couple of options with regards to electric. So these are 6,000 watt units. I have them mounted on the bottom of the beams. They're relatively close, and of course you would see them looking outside of your residence, and but it would put a good amount of heat down. And let's go ahead and look at that. because of this height change here, this is essentially about 9.5 inches lower than the beam. It's really designed to be a little bit higher, and you can see the penetration happens right about here, and so we're not getting the full spread as we would like to see that this heater has a capacity of doing. But it would be something where you could easily mount these units and run the system pretty simply, and it would give you pretty good coverage throughout this space right here. All right, so let's go ahead and change that to a different electric system. So this would be running the heaters within this space up here, just like the SunPack heaters. Now I could not run this last one over here because I'd be too close to the doorway windows and I'd overheat the glass. I don't want to overheat the glass, so that is why I'm choosing that. You could eliminate, one of these units and pull this one back, and then utilize some of that heat and just run 2 units. But again, it's just not as much heat, so I'd prefer the 3 over the 2. But again, we're still, we're a little bit wider here and here, but still not where I'd like to be. These are 6,000 watt units, 240 volts, 25 amps a piece. You can manipulate these by putting a duplex switch on this, so you can have one bulb on, one bulb off, so it would be either 6,000 or 3,000 watts. And again, you'd have to manipulate this bracket somehow to allow for the mounting. Maybe put a bar across here, and then a spacer that would allow the height to sit properly so that the finish height of the heater is at the same elevation as the finish height of the beam here. The reason behind that, again, is so that you meet the clearances to combustibles below the heater, which are 18 inches from this edge out, 18 inches from this edge out, and then of course on top is 6 inches out, and that's not a problem with the electric heaters. Gas heaters is 17 inches regardless of the bottom edge of the mount meeting the bottom edge of a beam or something of that nature. So that's why we need the reduction system on the gas heaters. All right, so this is another option here, and let's go ahead and go with a third option, which would be utilizing maybe some 5,000 watt units. These are these are CD 5024s and 5,000 watt dual element units. And again, same kind of setup, only that we're getting the maximum type of coverage here. You can also see that I've only placed the 2 and 2 in the spaces, unlike this option here where I placed them over here. So obviously if we just move this one and this one, we would get the same kind of footprint of coverage this way, just not this back section right around here. So okay, and we do have clearances on the left and right that we're meeting with no problem, and of course the clearance is on top of the same 6 inches all around, and there's no issue with regards to that, and you'd have to manipulate that bracket again. All right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, please send your information to designs@patioheat.com. Please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't monetize, we don't advertise, and YouTube will not promote our channel unless we receive your appreciation, and we thank you for that very much. Have a great day.